Phil, you just saw Watch Dogs 3.
Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs Legion, as they've announced. Are the rumors true?
The rumors are true. You can play any NPC in the game. It's kind of crazy, actually. What you're doing is building an army of DedSec hackers, and you can have up to 20 of them. And as you're wandering in the world, if you zap somebody with your little profiler and see they have perks, they have information about what they're like. If you like those people, you can recruit them onto your team. It takes some work, but you can play as anybody in the game.
What kind of work do you have to do to recruit them?
So the way it works is everybody in the game has like an opinion of DedSec, right? So if they don't like DedSec, the hacker group that you're part of, they take a lot more convincing, basically. You have to work them up to being pro DedSec, and what you can do is when you use the profiler, you find out information about what their deal is. If they have, say, people who are related to them who are in jail, or a loan shark after them, something like that, you can then help them out with those problems, raise their opinion of DedSec,
so
and
like
eventually
little side
recruit
missions,
them.
sort
Yeah,
of?
basically. Like,
Okay.
all the NPCs are super well built out. So they have schedules and jobs and stuff that they're doing out in the world. You can find where they're going to be based on their schedule, what you find out about them through the database, like intercept them at those places.
So is there a database that's just like every citizen in this game?
I guess so.
Interesting.
You remember the profiler from the other Watchdog games, right? Where you just like, look at somebody and
Just
it
give you,
pulls
like,
up
a little
some
bit of
dumb
info,
little info.
yeah.
Yeah, like just weird things like, I had an NPC today when I played. He apparently like punched his uncle in the chest to restart his heart one time, and like some, weird tidbits like that. Well, those tidbits are a lot more fleshed out, and a lot of them kind of like include, what's going on in these people's lives. And yeah, if you can help them out with stuff in the world, wherever they are, you can raise their opinion of DedSec and eventually recruit them. And then it requires you to go on a mission that, like, it's an origin mission, basically, to get that character on your team. Then once they agree to be part of DedSec, you can play as them, you can switch to them anytime you want to.
Interesting. Is there, like, it kind of begs the question, are there permadeath elements? Like if
Yes.
one of your people die, that's done?
Yeah, so they can be killed, they can be captured, they can be wounded, they can be like stuck in the hospital for a while. It doesn't happen all the time, obviously. Like, you kind of have to commit to getting a character killed to get them killed, it sounded like. But yeah, they can be knocked out and that's it.
Oh, you are done now.
So then, who's the protagonist?
Yeah, I'm not really super clear on that.
Really? All right.
Well, here's the thing. So the protagonist is whatever character you want to build. Whatever NPC you recruit, whatever they're like. I played a couple of story cutscenes, and whoever I was playing at that moment, that character was the main character of the game. And they're all like different. The animations, the story, or the dialogue, the accents, the voice acting, all of that is specific to each of the characters. I mean, I don't know what the top end is. They wouldn't tell me, but there's got to be, templates in there. But I didn't, see any crossover. They showed 4 videos of the same cutscene running at the same time with 4 different characters, and they all look different.
And different voice acting, and wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know how you get to that, who starts DedSec in London before you start recruiting all these people. But all intents and purposes in the game, it seems like whoever you want the main character to be, that's who the main character is.
And it does take place in London. So,
Yes.
so that was true as well. London's pretty populated, so then there's...
Yeah.
I imagine they make this populated at least to what you'd expect from an open world game. Like there's NPCs walking around, and all these NPCs have backstories you can interact with. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's nuts. I feel like they must have built a bunch of new tech that they haven't really told us about yet, but it was really pretty impressive just how much went into all these characters. And yeah, and they're very diverse. There's a lot of space in London. I was in 2 different areas. One was like kind of run down, one was a little more posh, I guess. And the characters were different based on those areas, so like the poorer folks had like a better opinion of DedSec. They were maybe a little bit easier to recruit. Their perks might have been a little different. All the characters have different traits. Some are better at brawling, some are better at hacking. There are also 3 character classes for these NPCs that you can assign them, and then they get special perks from that, and they have different abilities based on which class you pick. So there's a lot going on there.
And it is in fact another rumor that's going around that Clint Hawking, who directed Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Far Cry 2, especially with Far Cry 2, he's known for pushing a lot of boundaries, and he hasn't made a game since, but the rumor is that he's been working on Watch Dogs 3, and that is in fact true, right?
Yes, creative director. Yeah, he gave us a quick presentation. I didn't get to talk to him, but he ran through just all that stuff that I just told you and more. It was, it seems pretty intense. I was pretty impressed. I liked Watch Dogs 2 quite a bit, and this seems like it's advancing all those good ideas from that game in a number of ways.
Yeah, Watch Dogs 2 kind of felt like it was like a lower budget, tech-focused GTA game,
right?
Which was fun, but it didn't really have much of an identity, I felt, and it seems like they've really found something interesting to do with 3.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on there. I guess there are 5 different stories that they're telling throughout the game. I'm, again, not really super clear on how all that works out, but yeah, it's going real hard in a very specific direction.
So during this presentation, they also gave you a release date as well, right?
Right, March 6th, 2020.
Okay, so that's early next year.
Yeah, relatively soon.
Cool.
So,
anyway, for more E3 coverage, make sure to stay tuned to GameSpot. Thank you.
Thanks.